Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Candid Meena. And we have a lot of news regarding Aryan Khan, regarding the NCB, regarding the Disha Salian, case against the Ranis, and much, much more. So a lot of things are happening in the midst of the Russian-Ukraine war crisis. So I'll take you to the first piece of news. Is that it's a piece of good news? Is that NCB debunks reports claiming no evidence against Aryan Khan in the drugs case. Now, the NCB has called the reports of non-availability of evidence against Aryan Khan in the cruise drugs case as speculation. So the NCB has called as speculation the reports of non-availability of evidence against Aryan Khan in the Mumbai cruise drugs case. Sanjay Singh, Deputy Director General of NCB, denied reports that an NCB probe had indicated that there was no evidence to prove that Aryan Khan was linked to an international drug syndicate. So this is very huge. That Sanjay Singh, who is the Deputy Director General of NCB, he's clarifying that the rumors where NCB did not find any sort of evidence that would link Aryan Khan to an international drug syndicate. So that is false. So it seems that the NCB is still going to pursue this case, and there'll be a lot of developments very soon. Now, following up to this, Sanjay Singh, who is also the chief of the SIT, which is the Special Investigation Team on Aryan Khan case, said, as far as the media reports on non-availability of evidences against Aryan Khan are concerned, these are not true and are just speculations and nothing else. These statements were not cross-checked with the NCB before being published. Investigation is not yet complete and it is premature to say anything at this stage. Aryan Khan, for those of you who don't know about the background of this case, Aryan Khan is the son of Shah Rukh Khan, the film actor. He was detained by the NCB on October 2nd last year during a raid at the Cordelia Cruise, which is a luxury ship or a luxury yacht of the coast of Bombay. And Aryan Khan and his friends were detained by the NCB team on the accusation of drug conspiracy and consumption of drugs. Now, Aryan Khan's first bail was dismissed by the trial court. Later, Aryan Khan, through his counsel, approached the Bombay High Court, which granted him bail on October 28th of 2021. Now, due to legal procedures, Aryan Khan was freed from jail on October 30th. So it very well looks like the present NCB team is right behind this case, and I do expect we'll be seeing a lot of developments, and just because he's superstar's son, he's being treated like everyone should be, and that is very good for a central agency to set an example like that. Now, coming to the next piece of news is regarding the Disha Salian and Rane, So Mumbai police sent a notice to Union Minister Narayan Rane and his son in the Disha Salian case. Now, Narayan Rane and his son Nilesh Rane have been asked to appear before the Malwani police this week to record statements in an FIR registered against both of them for allegedly spreading false information about SSR's former manager Disha Salian's death. The Malwani police have sent notice to them and has asked them to appear there before this week to record their statements in an FIR registered against both of them for allegedly making defamatory remarks and spreading false information about Disha Salian. A senior police officer said the notice is served by the investigating officer under CRPC, asking them to be present before the police station. The remarks in question were made by Narayan Rane during a press conference on February 19th in the presence of Nitesh Rane. According to police, Disha Salian died by suicide by jumping off a building on June 8, 2020, 6 days before SSR was found dead inside his Bandra home. Since then, several controversies have come up questioning the circumstances surrounding their deaths. Following Rane's press conference, Mumbai Mayor Kishore Pednekar visited Salian's family and lodged a complaint with Maharashtra State Commission for Women on February 21st. MSCW recorded statements of Disha Salian's family members before issuing a notice to the Mumbai police, asking them to file a report in 2 days. They also sought Disha Salian's post-mortem reports. Later, a case was registered under sections 211, that is, false charge of offense made with intent to injure. 500 is defamation. 504 is intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of the peace. 509 is word or gesture or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. And 34 is common intention of the Indian Penal Code, along with Section 67 of the Information Technology Act. Now, in a statement to police, Disha Salian's mother, Vasanti, said she has seen a press conference in which an attempt to spread false information about her daughter's death was made. The information shared by them was demeaning and has damaged the reputation of our daughter and has tarnished our image in the society. This is what Disha Salian's mother said. And for me, it looks like Disha Salian's parents seems to be threatened by the mafia to make such statements and to pressurize them to take legal actions against Narayan Rane and his son, because I do feel that it is someone who has a personal grudge against Narayan Rane and his son who is making them do this. This is my opinion. So, what do you think of this? And coming to the next piece of news is regarding Isha Koppikar. Now, Isha Koppikar says she was thrown out of movie for not meeting the hero alone. Now, Isha Koppikar, she was a Bollywood film star back in the early 2000s. And however, she was not a very much of a, she didn't have much success in the Bollywood film industry. And the actor has been away from the big screen for quite some time. And she has been working on a couple of OTT small projects. Now, in a chat with media, Isha shared that she comes from a family of doctors and pursued modeling for pocket money when she was in college. Now, fitting the description of the quintessential outsider, Isha has had her encounter with nepotism and the casting couch in the film industry. Isha recalled that in mid 2000, she was called by a renowned producer who asked her to be in the good books of the hero. She didn't understand what the producer meant to say. So she called up the hero and he asked her to meet him alone. I didn't know what he meant. So I called up the hero who asked me to meet him alone. At that point, he was being accused of infidelity. So he asked me to visit him minus my staff. She told the publication. She added, I called the producer and told him that I'm here due to my talent and looks, and if that can get me good work, then it's good enough. The result was that she was thrown out of film. So when she, at that point, he was being accused of infidelity. So that means that this, the so-called hero is either a married person or he is, he's most probably married. Whoever this guy is, I wonder who it is. Now, she stated that she never made compromises in her career. Hence, she had to settle for smaller or supporting roles. The actor believes that no one can force you unless you are willing to do something. It's totally up to you whether you want to become a part of a film, on your talent, or something else. Isha also mentioned that female actors nowadays don't come with shelf life, provided they are talented. Isha expressed that she is amazed at how the film industry has changed. So, when she makes such a statement, you can understand that, you know, time and again that outsiders are being exploited in the Bollywood film industry, right? So, I really wonder who's this guy? I too wonder, sir. So maybe if you're talking about she was a star back in 2000. So any hero who was married in the early 2000s and had hit films and acted opposite her, maybe. So that could be one of your guesses. Hi, Devanushri. Hi, Yamini. Hi, Neelam. Hi, Gurbi. Hi, Meros. How are you? Devanushri not only exploited, used, and thrown like garbage after work done. Yeah, exploited is a very small word. You have seen all the different stories by people. If you check our playlist section of Bollywood inside stories, you can see interviews of certain people who claim to have been exploited and the horrible things that they had to undergo, being small stars. So you can only imagine the kind of exploitation that these outsiders, especially these young women and men, like after SSR was murdered, you can only imagine. Now everything is coming out. So it's your duty or your as viewers to spread awareness among the youth as to not follow Bollywood stars as role models, and not to take this line of work. Instead, go for other lines of work, where it is respectable, and there's no sort of room for exploitation. And so better to refrain from this Bollywood film industry for a long time, unless it is cleansed, unless Bollywood moves its center, it is cleansed and it is moved to the UP films city, where you'll have proper sort of monitoring if possible. So I do have high hopes for the UP film city under Yogi ji, and we'll have a whole new sort of film industry, hopefully. Hi Nisha, how are you? So this is very surprising that Isha Koppikar has really come out now at this point of time, and that she has revealed this very important information of the casting couch, that a very significant hero from the early 2000s, who is most likely married because she said infidelity. So, and he asked her to come alone, and for obvious reasons. So this is a very big revelation. Yes, we public need to take it upon ourselves to put an end to this, from spoiling the society, boycotting Bollywood TV, all would count. Absolutely, Devunishi. And so it's like you have to spread awareness to as many people as possible, even if they think you're uncool. Also, you should try to spread these videos and try to educate them, because the mainstream media will never show you this side of Bollywood. Even Republic TV, the so-called right-wing TV channels, they are not speaking anything against Bollywood. If you've noticed, after the whole for the past few months, Arnab has not even touched Bollywood because of, I guess, the court cases against him. you know so why is he not questioning Bollywood stars? You have Sukesh Chandrasekhar case, which is out in public, right? So why is he not following up with the SSR case, right? Why is he not following up with the Disha Salian case? So these are very big questions, right? So he's speaking about everything else, like the burqa ban case, and all those different issues in India. But he's not touching Bollywood, if you have noticed. Wonder who must be the actor at that time. I guess he's a very prominent actor in the early 2000s who had a very good film hit, and he was a married person. This is my guess. Never seen Isha Koppikar, but if she really stood her ground, then that's awesome. If only the others would do this too, then this exploiting of actresses will greatly reduce. So a lot many people like Isha Koppikar should come out in the public media, and they should narrate their all these stories. Like, if they have the guts, or to come out, and then people will start thinking about joining this line of work. It's high time we all need to learn a lesson from this. Absolutely, Neelam. Yes, seeing the shift of preference in Republic is making me frustrated and a little skeptical too. Absolutely, Devanishi. Hmm. Maybe, who knows? So, coming to the next piece of news is regarding Russia Ukraine, but in terms of the Indian viewpoint, is as you know that a lot of Indian students go to Ukraine for mainly studying medicine, right? Now, Ukraine ambassador to India said, it's like deeply dissatisfied with India's stand. But Modi ji makes me hopeful. Referring to the large number of Indian students who study in medical colleges in Ukraine, Polika, he is the Ukraine ambassador to India. He said that the Indian intervention is also required for the safety of those Indian citizens. Hours after, as you know, that Ukraine is under attack from Russia. So Ukraine's, he said that the ambassador said that he is very dissatisfied with India's position. And while pleading for India's support, he said, I don't know how many world leaders Putin may listen to, but the status of Modi ji makes me hopeful. As events unfolded rapidly on Ukraine, Polika said, I am now following all the reports from the side of your ministry, and the latest advisory to your citizens in Ukraine was just not to go out, not to go to Kiev. And the statement of your Ministry of External Affairs was that India is closely following development of events. We are deeply dissatisfied with their position. What does it mean? Closely following or more closely? Now, 10 to 15 people are killed. When hundreds of thousands are killed, what will happen? We are waiting, we are asking, we are pleading for the strong voice of India. Referring to the large number of Indian students who study in medical colleges in Ukraine, Polika said Indian intervention is also required for the safety of these Indian citizens. Ukraine has got one of the biggest amount of Indian students, more than 20,000. The well-being and safety of your citizens is also our task, but first of all, it's the task of your government. Immediately after the request of the Indian side, we try to help. Now, unfortunately, the airspace of Ukraine is closed. I spoke directly to many Indians residing in Ukraine. The majority of them don't want to be evacuated. They are praying for some peaceful solution. And in this case, not only for the sake of Ukraine, but even for the sake of your citizens. All of us, including the powerful leader Modi ji, should exert every pressure, every effort to stop this aggression. He said he believes that India's relationship with Russia and Prime Minister Modi's position could mean that India can make a meaningful intervention in this matter. So what he is trying to say is that India should take a more meaningful position against Russia and sort of intervene in this whole matter. So, but in I personally I do hope this war ends as soon as possible. But to the Indian students who are stranded in Ukraine, I want to ask them one question. I mean, just before this war, 2 to 3 weeks back, the Indian embassy started sending out circulars so much in advance that to please evacuate Ukraine and return home to India. At that point of time, why did these students not return home? Were they waiting for a free ticket from taxpayers' money to return home? That's my question. When the Indian embassy clearly stated that 2 to 3 weeks back, before this whole war even started, these whole 20,000 students or whatever the amount is, They could have returned home to India, right? What was stopping them at that point of time? That's my question, right? Devanushi says, yes, war should end. Cannot imagine in 2022 we have war in Europe. Absolutely, Devanushi. So this is a war between, it's like the continuation of the Cold War between the US and Russia. So we'll have to wait and see that if the Ukrainian president Zelensky, if he had said that he could have sort of averted this situation, in my opinion, but he tried to be a martyr, and he has taken his country to this situation. Yeah, Manikarnika. So NCB has clearly stated that they are still following on this case with the on the Aryan Khan case, and let's see how it pans out. Agree that the students were warned. There was enough buzz about the upcoming events, so they could have come back home. But I do believe that a lot of these students they were waiting for a free ticket, so that But I really and a lot of people are creating unnecessary politics, sort of trying to make India look bad in the international listing, uh, foreign. So So these are some of the news as of now, and I do hope that we have significant developments. In number one is the Aryan Khan case. Number two is Narayan Rane and Nilesh Rane. If he has evidence of the Disha Salian and SSR case, now is the right time to sort of give it to CBI, and after submitting evidence to CBI, follow up with the progress of the cases at this point of time. And number three is regarding the Russian Ukraine war. I sincerely pray that this war comes to an end as soon as possible, and that there is peace, because globally already we have undergone the COVID war, which the COVID crisis, sorry, and that has shattered the world economy, and that too for 2 years, and it will take a long time for the world itself to recover economically after the COVID. And now after following the COVID, now we have this war between Russia and Ukraine. So that will have a lot of impact on the crude oil price. There'll be chance of inflation within India. So a lot of things, will have to. It will impact the world economy undoubtedly, and Europe is putting sanctions against Russia. And then if tomorrow Russia can shut the gas supply, because 40% of the European gas supply is provided by Russia. So Russia, so tomorrow Putin can say we will shut off your gas supply. So then what will Europe do? So these are all permutations and combinations which can happen. So I do sincerely pray that this war is it comes to a complete ceasefire. A diplomatic solution is sort of formed. But let's see and let's hope for the best. Thank you for joining me in this news broadcast. And tonight we'll have Mohit Kamboj at 8 p.m. So don't forget to catch that interview tonight at Candid Meena. Thank you, everyone, and thanks each and every viewer for commenting and voicing their opinion. And these are very intelligent opinions and comments which I have read. And so my only sort of request is to like this video and share this to as much as people as possible, especially the young people, so that they're aware of all these activities in Bollywood and everything. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks.